And the winner is...
Ecclesiastes. That's the best book in the Bible, by far.
This is the Bible in fewer words. This is episode 177, Ecclesiastes, chapters 1 through 6. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
Should we start?
We should.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, chapter 1, verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be Solomon.
Uh-huh.
But this book certainly wasn't written by Solomon. Scholars are agreed that it was written maybe 600 to 800 years after Solomon supposedly existed.
Oh, so not possible.
It couldn't have been written by Solomon. So kind of off to a bad start, but it'll get better from there.
Okay. Vanities of vanities, all is vanity.
In the end, nothing is achieved by all that we do in our lives.
The rivers flow to the sea, yet the sea isn't full.
The waters return to the place where the rivers began, and then return again. That's a pretty good summary of the water cycle.
Yes, it is. They should teach that in science.
Yeah, it's really pretty accurate.
Things that have happened in the past will happen again.
There's nothing new on the earth.
No one remembers what happened long ago, and no one will remember what happens now or in the future.
The imperfect can't be corrected, and what is missing can't be counted.
Is this wisdom, or is this a little bit depressing?
I think it's wisdom. I think it's honest. I think it's skepticism. It's something that seems to be misplaced in the Bible. I mean, it seems to be out of place, right? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't expect this in the Bible.
No.
But I mean, that's a matter of opinion. It's definitely a sort of a dark view of life.
I am the wisest person who has ever existed.
Yeah, so that's in there to make it sound like it's being written by Solomon. You know, he's supposed to be the wisest person.
Yes.
Yeah. I have sought wisdom and come to know madness and folly. With wisdom comes grief, and increasing knowledge increases sorrow.
Chapter 2. I was wise, rich, and successful, but everything I had achieved was for nothing.
Then I discovered that wisdom was greater than folly, yet the same fate happens to the foolish and the wise. Both die and will soon be forgotten.
My work will remain unfinished when I die. Someone else will have to finish it for me.
And who knows whether it will be a wise person or a fool.
Verse 24. So the best we can do is eat, drink, and enjoy the good in our labor.
Yeah, and that's kind of almost a summary of the whole book there. The best we can do is to eat and drink and enjoy our life and do the best that we can.
Yeah. Now, here and now.
Right, here and now. Yeah, because that's all there is. Okay, chapter 3 is going to sound familiar.
Oh?
Yeah, well, maybe for those who have a long memory or know about folk songs in the past, this actually is the lyrics of a very famous song.
Oh.
Called Turn, Turn, Turn. It's written by Pete Seeger in 1959, and it became a big hit with the Byrds in 65. And I'm just using the lyrics here. It's actually almost verbatim the first part of chapter 3 of Ecclesiastes. To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose unto heaven.
A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to reap.
A time to kill, a time to heal. A time to laugh, a time to weep.
A time to build up, a time to break down. A time to dance, and a time to mourn.
A time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together.
A time to love, a time of hate. A time of war, a time of peace.
A time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing.
A time to gain, a time to lose. A time to rend, a time to sow.
A time for love, a time for hate. A time for peace, And then the song says, I swear it's not too late.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice song.
Mm-hmm.
And the next part reminds me of another song that I like very much. Also very depressing. Verse 11. God made everything beautiful. No one can find out anything about God's creation.
Rejoice and do good in this life. Eat, drink, and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
God made us fear him. Someday he'll show us that we are beasts. Because what happens to beasts happens to us.
Our deaths are just like theirs. We aren't above them.
We and the beasts die and go to the same place. All we are is dust in the wind.
Who knows that at death the spirit of humans go up, and the spirits of beasts go down? So the best we can do is to rejoice in our works.
Chapter 4. Many are oppressed without comfort. So I consider the dead more fortunate than the living.
The fool folds his hands and eats his own flesh.
I don't know what that is, but that's what it says.
Okay.
Okay, verse 9. Two are better than one, since they can get more done than either could alone.
Help each other if one gets into trouble,
And keep each other warm when it gets cold.
and protect each other if either is attacked.
A poor but wise child is better than an old and foolish king.
Chapter 5. Don't use many words when you pray. Let your words be few.
Yeah, that's kind of our motto for the Bible in fewer words. A fool is known by a multitude of words.
If you promise to pay someone something, pay it.
Don't make a promise that you can't keep.
Don't say to the angel, I made a mistake.
Or God might get angry and destroy your work.
Fear God.
There are some who say that these references to God in the Ecclesiastes were a later addition, that some editors, some pious scribes, decided that it was just a little bit too ungodly, and we need to add some stuff here to make it a little bit more acceptable. So some scholars think that's the case in this God talk.
Okay, verse 10 of chapter 5. If you love silver and riches, you'll never be satisfied.
Working people sleep better than rich people.
You can't take it with you. So eat, drink, and enjoy your good work.
Chapter 6. Don't we all go to the same place when we die?
Who knows what is good in this life?
Or what will happen on earth after we die?
Well, what do you think of Ecclesiastes so far? Still the best book in the Bible?
Oh yeah, it is. I think so. And we're only half done. There's other good stuff coming up in the next episode.
Okay. Well, thanks. This has been fun.
Sure.
Listeners, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So you think this is the best book in the Bible?
Yeah, I do. But I kind of get the sense that you don't.
Well, I guess I wasn't expecting something to be so depressing
Yeah.
and real.
Well, right. That's why I think it's so good. Well, I think it also has really good poetry. That's why it made such a nice song. Mm-hmm. In fact, there's been a lot of other songs that have incorporated the Book of Ecclesiastes, and it's been a big thing in literature as a whole. Because of the ideas that are expressed, even though they are sort of harsh and difficult, troubling, depressing even, there's also a lot of truth and wisdom to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, just knowing that that's where that song came from and just thinking, oh, that's such a lovely song and a nice poem. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what it was surrounded with, like the first chapters and the later ones. And they're all kind of setting the stage for this song, I guess.
Yeah, it's repeated over and over again in Ecclesiastes, this idea that the King James Version uses all is vanity. Vanity of vanities and all is vanity. So it's like no matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, no matter how much we strive to live a good life, and in the end, all we are really is dust in the wind. Mm-hmm. That our life, everything that we put into it is going to have to be continued by someone else. We don't know what kind of job they'll do.
Yeah.
So do everything that you can. Be as good a person. Do as much as you can in this life, and enjoy it as much as you can while you're living.
Yeah.
Because that's all there is.
Yeah.
And that's the point of Ecclesiastes.
No heaven, no hell.
No, it's here. It's here and now at this moment, and that's all we have. That's all we'll ever have. That's the wisdom of Ecclesiastes.
So people who believe in heaven and hell don't really like this much.
Oh, no.
I mean, they think it's going to be great somewhere else, and this life is not so hot.
Yes, I think this is extremely disturbing to almost all believers. The book of Ecclesiastes, I don't think is a big hit with them.
With them?
With them. No, they would prefer the book of Job. Mm-hmm. Because in the book of Job...
There's redemption.
It talks about the same thing, right? About the suffering and the difficulties of life. But Job's friends come in and say, well, it's all your fault. If you just, you're being punished for your sins and you deserve it. Just buck up to that. And then God rewards Job because he didn't, the story.
In some weird way.
Yeah, but anyways, there's not going to be any reward for your actions here. The way that they treat suffering and human existence is opposite. Mm-hmm. There's no end where God's going to reward you and give you twice as much stuff as you did for not cursing him for all the bad shit that he did to you, right? You're going to live and you're going to die, and no one's going to know. 100 years from now, no one will know of your existence. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the way it is. And you need to understand that and live your life as best you can right now at this moment. Because this moment that you have right now is the only thing you'll ever have. So make the most of it. That's what Ecclesiastes is all about, Charlie Brown.
I love you, honey.
Okay.
I love spending time with you.
Yeah?
Reading the Bible.
Okay.
To others.
Thanks. I'm glad you're here with me, too. Two are better than one.
Yes.
It was saying, like, one's the loneliest number. Is how I...
It's another song.
It's another song in there. And then Dust in the Wind, of course, is another great song. So Ecclesiastes is the first part of Ecclesiastes. And then it also has the fewer words idea.
Yes, it does.
So, this really incorporates a lot of stuff in just 6 little chapters.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well, thanks.
Sure. Thanks for sharing it with me.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye, listeners.
Bye.